Tensions are rising as Russia accuses the European Union of blocking direct dialogue with the United States over the Ukraine crisis. Moscow says Brussels is pushing Washington back towards Biden-era policies of financing Kyiv and supplying weapons.
European countries have unfortunately assumed a hawkish position. They use actually all methods to prevent direct bilateral contact between Russia and Ukraine, between Moscow and Washington, precisely for settling the issues of confrontation.
Russian President Vladimir Putin insists dialogue is the only path forward, emphasizing that any meetings with the US must be carefully prepared to produce meaningful results.
A dialogue is always better than any confrontation, than any disputes or especially a war. Therefore, we have always supported the continuation of this dialogue, and now we support it.
Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orbán also weighed in, criticizing Europe's approach as short-sighted. He warns that labeling Russia's president a war criminal has complicated diplomatic efforts.
The only problem here is that the Europeans have declared the Russian president a war criminal, and they have a problem meeting him. If you don't think ahead, if you make sudden decisions, if you only think in the short term, you will pay the price sooner rather than later.
Brussels, however, maintains a firm stance. Earlier, EU Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas stressed that sanctions and support for Ukraine are essential to curbing Russian aggression.
If we just give in so that Russia gets what they want, then we will see more of this. We have seen this already in history several times. So our approach is clear. We also discussed this with the ministers today. Our approach is clear: to help Ukraine to defend itself and also pressure Russia to stop this war.
While Russia claims readiness for talks, Europe's insistence on sanctions and political posturing keeps the US-Russia dialogue stalled. Moscow warns that continued obstruction could have long-term consequences for regional stability. As the Ukraine crisis deepens, the standoff between Brussels and Moscow raises serious questions. Will diplomacy find a way forward, or will political divisions push Europe and Russia further apart, with Washington caught in the middle?